What if I told you that the reason your manifestation aren't showing up has nothing to do with your vision board, nothing to do with your affirmation, and nothing to do with how many times you have watched The Secret? The problem is your frequency, not as a metaphor, not as a spiritual concept, but as a measurable biological signal that you are broadcasting every single second, whether you are aware of it or not.
And here's what makes this even more fascinating and a little uncomfortable. The quantum field, the universe, whatever you choose to call it isn't listening to your words. It isn't reading your journal. It's reading your state of being, your energy, your frequency.
Welcome to the In Manifestation podcast. I am Coach Irfan Aziz.
And I'm Coach Neha Baweja. And today we are going to go deep, really deep into something that changed everything for us, for our clients, and that we believe will change something in you by the time this episode ends.
We're talking about manifestation frequency, what it is, why most people are broadcasting on the wrong channel, and exactly how to tune yourself to the frequency of what you want to create.
And we are going to blend the latest neuroscience, quantum physics, and the emotional healing work that we do with entrepreneurs and families across the world. So stay with us for the full episode because the piece that most people miss, it comes towards the end.
So let's start with the science. Because when I started studying the work of researchers like Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Bruce Lipton, and the quantum physicists who came before them, I realized that what the ancient wisdom traditions called frequency or vibration is not mystical at all. It's neurological. And here's what's happening inside you right now. Inside every human being, at any given moment, your brain is generating electromagnetic fields. Your heart, which most people don't know, generates an electromagnetic field that is 60 times stronger than the brain. 60 times. And that field extends outward from your body, measurable, up to several feet in every direction. That field is your frequency. That is the signal you are sending into the quantum field of possibility.
Yes, absolutely. And I love how you explain this because when I first heard it, it connected something for me. Like, how we talk to our clients about feeling stuck, about that sense that no matter what they do, what they say, nothing changes. The business doesn't grow, the relationship doesn't heal, and the money doesn't even flow.
Mm,
So the science is telling us that being stuck isn't just a feeling, it's a measurable electromagnetic pattern. The brain and the heart are broadcasting incoherence. That means they're not in sync. And that incoherent signal is literally what you are putting out into the field.
exactly. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls this the difference between coherence and incoherence. When your thoughts and your emotions are aligned, when what you think matches how you feel, your brain and heart synchronize. Scientists call this heart brain coherence. And in that coherent state, you are not just thinking about your future, you are transmitting it.
Oh, but here's the catch, Irfan. And this is where I see so many people, even people who know the law of attraction, they get stuck, isn't it?
Tell them. Tell them.
So they are thinking about abundance, but they are feeling scarcity. They are visualizing health, but they are feeling disease. They are affirming love, but they are feeling loneliness. And the quantum field, it doesn't hear the thought. It reads the dominant emotional frequency every time.
Absolutely. Dr. Dispenza put it perfectly when he says, your personality creates your personal reality. Hear me out again. Your personality creates your personal reality. Who you are being right now, the sum of your thoughts, your feelings, your behavior, that is the signal. And the universe is just delivering you more of the same. So the question isn't it, what do I want to manifest? The question is, who do I need to become?
Yeah. So now this is where I want to go a little deeper because Irfan and I work with a lot of high performing people like entrepreneurs, professionals, leaders, and the number one thing we see across hundreds of clients is this, that they're intellectually committed to growth. But when it comes to emotional, okay, but emotionally they are living in the past. And I don't mean that as a judgment. I mean it as a neurological fact,
Explain that,
right?
Neha.
Okay. So neuroscience shows us that every time you have an emotional experience, especially a painful one, so your brain creates a neural pathway, a groove, okay? And the more you replay that memory, the deeper that groove gets. So Dr. Joe Dispenza, he calls this as hardwiring. That means nerve cells that fire together, wire together. So when someone grew up watching their parents fight about money, that experience created a neural pattern. Okay, and now 30 years later, every time they try to receive abundance, their nervous system, it's like pull the brakes. Yeah, just like you pull the brake in the handbrake in the car. Okay, it's absolutely like that. So it is not because they are broken, not because they're not smart enough, but because their body has memorized a frequency of lack. And the body is running that program automatically.
This is so important because I have sat across from brilliant people, I mean, MBAs, doctor, entrepreneurs with incredible ideas. And they cannot understand why success feels like pushing water uphill for them. You know, it's not a strategy problem, it's a frequency problem. And the frequency problem is rooted in an emotional wound they have never healed.
Yeah, yeah. And here is, where healing and manifestation become the same thing. You actually cannot out affirm a trauma. You cannot meditate around, an unresolved emotional block. The work, if I really talk, or if we really talk about it, the real work is to go into the body, into that stored emotion, and change the signal at the source.
True. Even actually, Dr. Bruce Lipton's work on epigenetics supports this beautifully. He showed that our genes don't control our destiny, our environment does. And the most powerful environment that shapes your gene, expression is not where you live. It's not your income level. It's not your chemical environment created by your emotions, especially the neuropeptides, right? What do you call that? It's a neuropeptiditis,
Yeah,
something
it's
like that. They say, right? right?
Neuropeptides.
Yeah, something in English. Okay, I'm not so good English, guys. Okay, I just manage it. The science words are always difficult. That's why I choose not to. But it says that it's a neuropeptides, uh, peptides, right?
Yeah.
So neuropeptides. Actually, this is says it's release your emotional states. Correct?
Yes, absolutely. So it's the chemical environment which is created by your emotions. So that shapes basically. So when you are chronically in a state of fear or maybe stress or maybe resentment, your body is literally, it's actually bathing your cells in stress hormones. Like you take a bath in the morning, it's the same way your cell starts getting a bath with the stress hormones like cortisol, adrenal, right? And those chemicals signal the body's genes to stay in the survival mode. And in that state, like, this is the key, that the prefrontal cortex goes offline. The creative part of your brain, the part that can imagine a new future, actually shuts down.
You mean you literally cannot manifest from a stressed nervous system? It is biologically impossible. Yes?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you cannot manifest from a stressed nervous system because in that state, your brain is too busy scanning for threats. It cannot hold the frequency of abundance or love or the possibilities.
What do you do? And that's what we are going to get into right now. All right. So we have established what manifestation frequency is. We have established why most people's signal is blocked. Now, let's talk about how to actually shift it. We call this the three frequency shift method, and it's what we take our clients through in our deep healing uh, intensives.
Yeah, and I want to say before we go actually into this isn't a quick fix, like one it's not a magical wand. Okay, so this is a practice, like the way you go to the gym to build the physical muscle. Okay, this builds what we call emotional coherence muscle. So the more consistently you do it, the stronger your signal becomes.
Frequency shift number one, become the observer. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this constantly. The first step to changing your state is to notice your state, not judge it, not fight it, observe it. And here's why this is quantum, right? It in quantum physics, there is a phenomenon called the observer effect. If you heard about this, the simple act of observing a particle changes in its behavior. Yes, your attention, your focused awareness is literally a force that influences reality at a subatomic level.
So true. Right, and that's where, so in practice this means starting your morning, like before you check your phone, before you check your messages, before the mind starts running its old programs. It's like by sitting quietly and asking yourself one question, like, what is the emotional frequency I'm broadcasting right now? And this is exactly it, fun. I think M505 people, I make them, sit in the silence, and I tell them that just breathe. Okay, be with your body, scan your whole body. Okay, and that's exactly what we do. Okay, so not what should I be feeling, but what am I actually feeling in my body right now?
All right. So, is there tightness in the chest? That's usually anxiety or fear. Somebody was asking in TikTok to me today, I mean, what are the signs? So if there is a heaviness in the stomach, that's often resentment or grief. A scattered, spinning mind, that's actually or usually the stress response. Your nervous system trying to predict and control. Just notice without judgment, because the moment you become the observer of a pattern, you are no longer trapped inside it.
So true, absolutely. That's where we need to become an observer. Okay, now let's talk about the frequency shift number two, which is install the elevated emotion first. So, this is where Dr. Joe Dispenza's work is absolutely revolutionary. Like most people think, I will feel abundant when I get the money. I will feel loved when I'm in the relationship. I will feel healthy when the diagnosis changes. Okay. But the quantum field works in reverse. So you have to be the frequency before the physical evidence arrives. You have to become, as you know, Dr. Joe says, that the walking embodiment of what you want to create.
In this, it's isn't it about pretending? This isn't it fake positivity? Okay, समझने की कोशिश कीजिएगा. This is what neuroscience calls mental rehearsal. When you vividly imagine an experience with a real emotion, your brain cannot distinguish between the imagined event and a real event. The same neural pattern fire, the same neuropeptides dyes, whatever you call it, are released. Okay, this is where it says, right? So your body begins to chemically change based on your thoughts held in your feelings.
Yeah, yeah. So I remember in your 7 days advanced manifestation boot camp, Irfan, you remember in one of the days you talk about that, think of Kachi curry. See, I'm just saying, and
Yeah.
I'm getting the saliva, I'm getting the flavor of kachi curry like raw mango in my mouth. So, with this, our brain is not trained to differentiate between the imagined event and the real event. Okay. And even in our healing sessions, we guide our clients through what we call basically the future self emotion. Like you just don't visualize what you want, but you step into the version of who you already, like the one who already has it. Now, how does that version of you breathe? How do they carry themselves? What do they feel in their chest when they wake up in the morning? Right? So everything basically.
Yes, on the day 7, this is what we do in the 7 days manifestation, where we get into the 4 day visualization, the 4D visualization, where we do and make them go into the state where they can see everything as if it's already there in them. So you rehearse it, okay, until the emotion becomes real, until your body start producing the chemistry of that future reality today. And that is the quantum bridge between where you are and where you are going.
So true. Absolutely. Now let's shift
Frequency shift number 3.
to the frequency shift number three. That means sustain it, anchor it, and repeat.
So before we go there, if you have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe and share with the loved ones, because or save this video, because it's very important that any new videos are coming related to this, so that you get the access at the immediate level. All right. So now let's get into the frequency shift number 3, as Neha said. This is the one people skip, Neha. They have a powerful meditation, they feel amazing, and then the phone buzzes, the email comes
Yeah.
in, the traffic is bad, and within 23 minutes, they're back in their old frequency. I've seen enough.
True, 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 true. And that's where I think I really love Dr. Joe's research on, like, we have done it, on retreats, we have done the research, and that research shows that sustained elevation. Like keeping that coherent state for extended periods is what produces the measurable physical change. The spontaneous healings happen, the financial breakthroughs happen, the relationships transform. And it's not one peak experience, it's the accumulation of staying in that frequency, basically.
Yes. So the practice is throughout your day, keep asking, am I still in that zone? Or have I slipped back into the noise? And when you slip, you will. We all do. You don't beat yourself up for that, right? Oh my God, मैं नहीं हो रहा है. कुछ लोगों को रहता है. Some people are like, oh my God, how I don't want to think. That's not possible. But you simply choose back again, come back again, right? In the same state of being.
Yes, yes, yes. So I want to share a story. So I'm going to protect this person's privacy. So we can call her Priyanka. Okay, so she came to us about, I think, 1 year ago, and she was a successful professional, well educated, working at a very good level in a very good company. Okay, by every external measure, if you see, she was doing really well, but inside she described it as feeling, as if she's invisible. Like no matter how hard she worked, abundance, like real abundance in her relationships, in her finances, in her body, was always just out of reach. मतलब जैसे होते हैं ना कि सब कुछ होते हुए भी किसी को लगता है मेरे पास कुछ नहीं है.
Yes, yes. And I remember also that when we deep dive into her healing with Priya, uh, into her emotional history, we found out what we almost always find actually. Nothing was new, ऐसा कुछ नहीं था, but a core wound from childhood actually, a moment or a series of moments, and that had taught her nervous system a very specific lesson. You remember?
Yeah, yeah. And her lesson was like, that I have to earn love. I have to earn my place. Like, I have to struggle to deserve anything and everything in my life. And that belief, that deeply unconscious frequency was running her life. Not her intentions, not her vision board, but that wound.
Very true. In neuroscience terms, understand guys, Priya's brain had built a neutral superhighway. Okay, you can say it neural superhighway, right? For I am not enough. मतलब बन गया था वो, इसे cemented. Okay, so every success, every achievement, her brain always rooted back to the same emotional home base actually. I'm not enough. I'm not safe. I don't deserve it.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel that we worked with her for some weeks, like for 1 or 2 months, and we used somatic healing, helping her release, to whatever stored emotional charge she has in her body. So we helped her to release that. We used the heart brain coherence meditation. We used what we call basically the frequency anchoring, teaching her to recognize with precision what her abundance frequency feels like and how to actually return to it when she drifts.
Yes. And something started happening. Not
Yeah,
overnight, of course, as Neha said. Nothing happens overnight, guys. Okay. But incrementally, you can say, or consistently, the way all real transformation actually works.
yeah. So it's like within, I think, 3 or 4 months, she received a promotion. She had been,
Yes.
passed over for maybe 3 times, or I think 2 or 3 times. And within 4 or 5 months, she told us that her relationship with her husband, which had been quietly deteriorating for years, it began to genuinely heal. Not because the external circumstances, magically changed, but because she had changed. Her signal had changed. Yeah, Irfan?
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. And she told us something I never forgot, right? She said, Irfan, I used to think manifestation was about attracting things.
Yeah,
Like many of you now, right now, listening, I'm sure you think the same thing, right? It's about attracting things, right? But she said, now I understand it was about becoming someone who could receive that.
true, 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 true. Becoming someone who could receive them, that's it. That's actually the whole work. Yeah. So we want to close today's episode with a gift, a short practice you can do actually right now or come back to this podcast tonight before you go off to sleep. We call this as the frequency activation reset and it takes about, almost 3 minutes to 5 minutes. That's it.
Yeah, but if you're driving, just listen, okay? Come back to this practice when you are still, right? If you are somewhere, you can close your eyes, then you do it. Otherwise, please, guys, note it down. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so take one long slow breath in through the nose. And I want you to hold it at the top for just a moment. And now slowly release it through your mouth. Let's do it once more. Inhale, hold, and now slowly and slowly release it. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Unclench your forehead. And now bring your attention, your awareness down from your head into the chest, into the center of your chest, your heart space. Keep breathing and keep focusing. Just feel the sensation. If you want, you can place one hand on your heart.
I want you to think of a single moment in your life when you felt completely, unconditionally grateful. It doesn't have to be a big moment. Maybe it's a sunrise you witnessed. Maybe you saw your child laugh. It could be a meal you shared with someone you love. Let that memory become vivid. Let yourself feel it. Just think it. You to feel it.
And as that feeling rises, notice that what happens in your chest. There may be a warmth, an expansion, a softening. Feel that sensation. That is coherence. That is your heart and brain synchronizing. That is your frequency shifting measurably in this moment.
While staying in that feeling, allow yourself to form a single intention. Just say to yourself, fill in what's true for you. I'm available for abundance. I'm available for healing. I'm available for love. I'm available for purpose. Whatever is asking to emerge in your life.
And trust that when you speak your intention from this frequency, from coherence, from gratitude, from love, the quantum field receives a completely different signal than it does when you ask from maybe fear or lack of desperation. Yeah? So you just shifted your frequency. Welcome back to the signal.
Amazing. All right. So thank you for spending this time with us today. If this episode landed for you, if something shifted, guys, even slightly, I want to encourage you. Don't let it be a one-time experience. That's the mistake many people does. This has to become a daily practice. Yes, Neha?
Yeah, so true. Absolutely. And we would love to hear from you. What did you discover in that practice, just now? What is your abundance frequency? What does it feel like? What does it sound like for you? So drop it in the comments, because when you like and comment, it becomes the motivation for us to, to do the more and more podcast, because your story might be exactly the thing someone else needs to read today. And I say one more thing, sharing is not only for someone other's inspiration, but even for you, because when you share, you get into that emotion again and again, right? And share your wins as well. Okay. So that's what I always say. Yeah.
Yes, if you want to go deeper, if you're ready to go real frequency work, the emotional healing works. The manifestation works and rocks. That actually sticks. Okay, so Neha and I work with number of clients in our coaching programs. Okay, the link is in the description. If anybody wants to be want to have a personal sessions with us.
And if you're new to In Manifestation, welcome to our family. Please subscribe our channel, turn on the notifications, because every week we bring you the content that bridges the science and the soul of creating the life you are meant to live. And we are coming up with a new thing from 1st April onwards, if you are really willing. So we can put the link in the description and you can go to. This is something which is magical. We are starting from 1st April onwards. And we truly and truly, with our open arms, open heart, we welcome you for that. Yeah?
Yes, and that thing is called the magical giver. Yes,
Yeah.
it's a magical giver where you can shift this frequency. What all we have taught you, you can shift it, and don't worry that there's no such thing like fixed payment to it or something like that. Nothing. Pay as much as you want, and guess what? The payment, whatever you're going to pay, that 90% of it straight away goes for the people, for the community to help others in the foundation. Okay, we promise you that, and we will bring you the pictures and everything for you to have that. Okay, so we are Coach Irfan Aziz
Coach Neha Baweja from
from
In
in
Manifestation.
manifestation. Until
Until
next time,
next time, stay in your
stay in your
frequency.
frequency.